from a human point of view, what sort of things get discussed in the gap between games 3 and 4 when you're 2-1 down?
Really just, especially in the way that Liquid lost here, they're going to talk about things like, what is it about that draft that put us behind? Is it their team fight? Is it the mid hero? And then they're going to talk about, at least I hope they talk about, not getting tilted, not feeling like, we're bad or anything like that. This comes down to the draft. It comes down to strategy and the meta right now. Okay,
we're into draft number 4 of the day. OG lead 2-1. They are on championship point. And Team Liquid have picked up the Slaughter.
You hear this though? The crowd, it's a Slaughter, and they're like, yeah, Slaughter, I love this hero.
And they even cheered when they banned the Void. Yeah. This crowd knows Dota. Yeah. This crowd knows Dota. I love this.
But that's the approach that Liquid's taking. You know what? They're like, this Void is really just, it's messing with everything that we want to do. Get it out of here. We have to change it up. These last 2 games just were.
So,
really
what do OG have as an answer here in the draft?
Probably still Phoenix. It's less good with the Chrono or without a Faceless Void, but
Phoenix or Spirit was the thing they drafted the first few times.
You think they pick it first too?
I think Phoenix is pretty likely.
And do you feel like if they leave it, Liquid then get rid of it? Yeah. Okay. Fine.
I mean, you can still set up Sunray ganks with a variety of different heroes. You saw it on the crit Earth Spirit as well. Other stuns do exist in the game.
Allegedly.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Okay. Sunray comes out.
Yeah. So
pick one for OG.
I'd expect an Earth Spirit. It worked well for them game 2. It's pretty much the same thing. All right, they go for the Elder Titan.
The ET wasn't banned this time, like we were mentioning.
Yeah,
that was a change-up that they did. They banned the Void instead, and like I mentioned, OG's really liking that Elder Titan on crit.
This is another great way to set up Sunray ganks as well. You just Spirit stun, incredibly easy.
Ooh, okay. That's one of the heroes that was banned second round consistently, and now Liquid gets to play with it.
It's almost like both teams didn't want to let the other team have it.
Yeah, it was the deciding heroes in games versus Newbie, in games LGD. It's could do a lot here. They can pressure lanes.
It was LGD yesterday who did that to Liquid, right? They picked the Slardar off lane and they picked the Enchantress, and was it LGD? Was it LGD or Newbie? I'm trying to remember. Maybe it was Newbie.
Newbie has been picking it more often, but I could see both teams.
Because I remember they picked the Slardar and he heavily focused on just ganking the Slardar's lane and giving the Slardar a super early blink dagger. I think that game was like a 9-minute blink on the Slardar just because of how heavily they punished that short lane. So maybe Liquid's looking at the same kind of approach. They thought it was clever.
Yeah, and that was the first game, or the game where Jerax ended up dying and Fada died right before Rune spawned. So
how am I not remembering which game it is right now?
It was game 1, I believe, because they lost game 1.
LGD or Newbie?
That was Liquid versus Newbie.
It was Newbie.
And then they came back to it.
Okay.
And Liquid is taking out the Darkseer and the Juggernaut heroes that gave them so much trouble in these last 2 series. And this time, if they want to pick a DK, maybe they don't have to worry about the Juggernaut being ungankable.
Covering off the Drow as well.
Yeah, they have Enchantress roam. It would be pretty strong.
Yeah, we saw Liquid kind of likes that. We obviously saw it in the series before with the Slardar amplifying all the physical damage and Drow enhancing everybody's physical damage as well. It's a really cheeky combo.
I just love how they responded with Enchantress based on those first 2 picks. Like, those are 2 supports that don't have very much control in the early game. Obviously, Elder Titan has some, but it's a little hard to land. It's more or less melee range. Enchantress is a good solution if those 2 can't stop him from roaming.
Is this time? Is it time for Liquid now? For the Medusa?
With the Drow ban, I'd be surprised because part of the reason that it was so successful for them in the previous game was because, Medusa can go items like Lincoln Scotty or Lincoln Manta and still have damage.
Yep. They take the Disruptor for themselves, so a nice support that can stay in the lane since Enchantress is going to be moving around. But back to the Medusa, I feel like Elder Titan can be very, very strong versus Medusa, and so can Phoenix because he kind of amplifies everything. It reduces the armor and everything. So and Medusa seems like it's kind of more of like a niche pick. So I don't think Liquid will really favor too much toward that. But they are having a lot of Fata's heroes banned out again, as we've been emphasizing.
Yep. It's going to be some tricky last bans as well here.
Disruptor is actually good again this game, I think. Can catch Batrider, zone him from his lane. They can lane pressure with Enchant, so Disruptor can then zone off laner and then go gank mid or somewhere else.
It feels like this in order to be in order for Disruptor to really be successful, Liquid needs to be ahead or pursuing.
Yep.
In the last game, or in game 2, we saw Disruptor get behind, and that hero basically did nothing.
And Enchantress should facilitate that.
Absolutely.
Surely their next hero is going to be Fada's pick. Maybe.
Yeah. OG.
Yeah, I mean, they've been picking out 4 or 5, so could be.
Yeah, they have both supports that is highly chance that it's a Moon Batrider. We've been seeing him playing that pretty much exclusively.
I don't think we've
team.
ever seen a Miracle or a No-Tail Batrider.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past him.
I wouldn't put it past the
You
No-Tail
could
Bat because he is the tempo controller for the team. So it wouldn't be too outside the box, but it would be
I'd
a
be
change up for them.
super surprised
Yeah,
because they focus so much on No-Tail getting farm and being that actual one position carry.
They needed some physical damage here. They're all in on Magic thus far, and Elder Titan enhances both, so TA's a pretty solid pick.
Gives them that Roche potential that they were kind of lacking. It gives them an objective taker. You know, they have the TA who can kind of be in the front line if he's followed up with the Elder Titan and the Phoenix.
I like this because it's, again, a lot of team fight combos.
Yeah.
Elder Titan and Phoenix together, especially with a Batrider as well.
Yeah, and the traps as well obviously can always scout out the movements. Also help set up for the Batrider lasso. You can put a trap down and then he can get the initiation off of that.
It's such a good offensive jump as well. Just Batrider TA, they both blink forward. Throw a Spirit on top of that, somebody dies in 2 hits.
Yep. Oh, and we do
Weaver's
have
back.
the Weaver picked up again. So it's very good versus Batrider in like the 1v1 scenarios.
It's
even
very
if
good against
2v1.
Phoenix as well.
Very good against Phoenix, yeah.
That was a
Also
great pick.
helps with the Roshan. You can obviously throw bugs in and catch vision of it. It's not the best, but it is an option. And it's really interesting how OG picks the TA. So last game they picked the Sven to be able to clear the Ancients. Now they have the TA as well to clear the Ancients. So it really seems like they emphasize on having one of those cores that can really just farm the jungle and farm the neutrals quite effectively.
I mean, I think almost all good drafts have something like that.
Yeah.
Like, even multiple patches ago, teams heavily prioritized, hey, one of your heroes has to be able to take Ancients because you lose so much efficiency if you can't take those stacks.
Yeah. During downtime or anything, like if you can't be
or if you're
Ancients.
just sitting around the Roshan pit, somebody's got to take those Ancients.
Yeah, exactly. So no surprise, OG bans out the Viper. They don't want, of course, Viper versus TA is not a very great matchup.
Have you noticed all the bans, by the way? Offlane,
Yeah.
mid. Seems like they're both targeting each other's players. Like there are 2 players on both sides which they're targeting via bans. Matumba Man and Fado on one side, Miracle and Moon on the other.
Yeah. And we do still have the Lycan is still left in the pool for Liquid if they do want to go for that. It doesn't give them they don't really have like a crazy amount of team fight, but it's their staple. It's their super comfort, but they did just lose with it twice.
It's not that bad against OG's draft, actually. They're very weak on lockdown.
I mean, do you think they're gonna? It would have to be a Lycan mid or a Weaver mid.
Yeah.
Do you think
Oh
they're
yeah,
gonna-
wow.
It'd be weird if they did
That
it.
would be very weird.
I don't think they'll do that.
Oops. Whoops.
Well, what's the TA solution then? Do you still grab something like a Dragon Knight?
You could, but then, I mean, again, Dragon Knight just gets exploited in the lane. Maybe you can kill the TA with Enchantress or Disruptor gank, but you have nothing to burn through the refraction, at least reliably.
Yeah. There really isn't that much right now.
Yeah, I don't know why I said Lycan. I actually just completely overlooked the slur.
So what does Fada pick up here?
What about like Razor against TA mid?
Razor does beat TA mid, but
It was a staple of his as well, and it's good versus the Batrider, but it's really heavily fallen like completely out of the meta.
How about this one? How about Veno?
Okay, so Fada in the past has played a lot of mid Veno.
Yeah.
He actually is one of those players that likes playing that cancerous hero. I mean, he
Charlie's had bad
really
experiences.
he really
He's
enjoys
mad.
it. I remember back in Dream League when he was on Cloud9, he was playing mid Veno and he was having a great time. He was just plopping wards down, eating with the other hand. And he was like, "This is a great game, guys."
It sort of works here, but if he ever gets Elder Titan stomped, TA is going to kill him easy.
Here
I
it
feel like,
comes.
so it's a little iffy.
Here it comes.
I think Razor's more likely here. They need the tanky Dragon Knight-like hero.
What
decent
hero?
against
What are we
Batrider.
missing? Are we missing a hero? Are we missing something? What are we not thinking about? Venom.
Oh.
Okay, it's the Fada Lone Druid. Okay, this
Has
is
also
That's good.
played it as
this
well.
is real good.
Yeah, has also played Lone Druid during the tournament.
Interesting.
Once they get Radiance, TA's kind of screwed,
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, even
Liquids. Go
in
ahead.
the lane, this is Lone Druid does really well against TA.
Yeah.
Only weakness is basically Lasso and Sunray. And I guess Elder Titan ult's pretty good as well if you can catch him, since he has such a high HP pool.
Yeah, they have a lot of different counter initiation now for Liquid. They have the Disruptor and the Slardar. And the Weaver can roam. In this game right now, you look, OG does not really have any sustainable lockdown. That's a new hero.
There you go, Paul.
95.
Not what you wanted, but
95 it is. 98 in total in terms of been picked and banned here
And it's
at the Manila Major. First time for the Wraith King.
reliably, semi-reliable lockdown for the Weaver. They needed something with the stun there. So since the Sven was banned, I think they might have wanted that instead. But now they go for the Wraith King, so lifesteal.
So 2-1 up. Championship point on the line. Let's go with the Wraith King. Why not?
You said it.
Yeah.
You said we're going to see some change up the third game, or well, this is the fourth game, but
Fourth game,
we're going to see the change up,
Yeah.
something completely out of the box.
I actually I like
Charlie's
the Wraith King.
stunned
No,
right
no,
now.
I like it a lot. You know what? I like these last picks out of both teams so much.
It's a big change up.
Yeah, the mix-up is so good. I'm really impressed by these guys' presence of mind.
TA with lifesteal as well from the Wraith King is very, like you overlook it very much. So.
and with minus armor, it's super accelerant.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Thank you to all three of you. Again, we'll be back after game 4, but we'll be celebrating OG's victory in the championship. Or can Liquid hold on? Let's find out as we go back to our commentary team of Gods and LD.